I'm trying to earn the right to call myself ASAP Drizzy one day. When I met ASAP, like I've said in the interviews, this guy right here, just right off the bat, did one of the kindest things anybody's ever done. Like came to check me, brought me a bottle of Chris. I'm honored this man accepted. I'm honest, happy to be here. I'm honored to be here, man.
I think from a man perspective, I'm being 100. That move like a female. Like, that's it. That's just my opinion. I take it or leave it. It's my 2 cents. I thought we was friends too. I don't know why. I'm assuming it's over females. That's all jokes aside. I thought we was friends too. Last I checked. Next thing I know is throwing shots from like 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Throwing shots. Everybody like, yo, this shit corny. What we talking about? Be happy for it.
The story didn't begin with insults. It began with admiration. Long before the headlines, before the diss tracks and internet theories, there was genuine respect. One artist remembered meeting A$AP Rocky for the very first time and being stunned by a simple act of kindness. No cameras, no agenda. Rocky walked over, welcomed him, handed him a bottle, and made him feel like he belonged. That small gesture stuck with him for years because, in an industry where trust is rare, moments like that don't happen often. But somewhere along the way, everything changed. What once looked like friendship slowly turned into confusion, then frustration, then public tension. People started asking the same question: what happened? Rocky himself hinted that someone had been taking repeated shots at him for years, saying it felt strange watching someone keep firing indirect jabs from one year to the next. To him, it wasn't just music anymore, it felt personal. And now, the drama has exploded into something even bigger.
You didn't feel any way about his past with...
I don't care about nobody that predates me. Like, nobody. That was before me. What the f*** I'm gonna do? Go back in the hands of time and rewrite history? Be too insecure and dwelling on stupid shit. What the f*** that got to do with me? That's crazy. If that's the case, it'll be like, I don't want her mad at the whole world. If she, like what we...
When I ain't have nobody was Drake. I'm talking about Drake was the first person to put on, like, before anybody. He didn't want to sign me. Yeah. He didn't want to, it was like, yo, that's raw.
Fresh claims are putting Drake back under the spotlight, and this time the accusations don't just involve rap beef, they involve Rihanna. According to comments attributed to Sexyy Red, there are whispers that efforts have been made behind the scenes to damage Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's image, including claims that negative stories about Rocky's relationship were being pushed to create doubt around the couple. Whether those allegations are true remains unverified, but one thing is impossible to ignore: the timing has sent social media into absolute chaos. After all, Sexyy Red had publicly supported Drake when many others distanced themselves from him. So the fact that her name is now connected to these rumors has only fueled even more speculation. And if you've noticed a sudden wave of stories questioning Rocky's character lately, many people online believe that's far from a coincidence. The biggest surprise wasn't even the rumor itself, it was who it was connected to. For someone who had publicly stood beside Drake during some of his most controversial moments, having Sexyy Red's name suddenly enter this conversation sent shockwaves across social media. Whether the claims are accurate or not, fans immediately began asking the same question: what changed behind the scenes? As for Drake repeatedly mentioning Rihanna, many listeners don't see anything new about it. For years, fans have pointed to lyrics they believe reference both Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, arguing that the tension didn't suddenly appear, it simply evolved. What makes the story even more intriguing is that Drake and Rocky were once believed to have shared mutual respect before Rocky and Rihanna became a couple. After that relationship became public, many fans started interpreting Drake's lyrics through an entirely different lens. Tracks like Fear of Heights and Another Late Night quickly became the center of online debates. Listeners dissected every line, convinced they contained subtle jabs aimed at Rihanna, Rocky, or both. Drake has never explicitly confirmed many of those interpretations, but that hasn't stopped the internet from turning every lyric into evidence for a much larger narrative. Ironically, Rocky himself has never appeared interested in reliving Rihanna's dating history. During interviews, he brushed off questions about Drake entirely, explaining that someone's past relationship isn't something he loses sleep over. His attitude was simple: You can't rewrite history, so why waste energy competing with it? He even acknowledged that Drake supported him early in his career, recognizing his talent before many others did. That history of mutual respect only makes today's situation feel even more complicated. But if the past truly doesn't matter, why does it keep resurfacing? That's the mystery fans can't seem to let go of. Every new lyric, every subtle reference, and every rumored shot reignites the same debate. Has everyone really moved on, or is an old chapter still refusing to close? The speculation stretches back years. Many still remember the unforgettable MTV Video Music Awards moment when Drake publicly expressed his admiration for Rihanna, only for what appeared to be an awkward exchange to instantly become one of the night's most talked about clips. Whether it was simply a misunderstanding or something more, the internet never forgot. Not long afterward, reports suggested the pair briefly explored a real relationship. Matching tattoos fueled endless headlines, and for a moment it looked like years of public chemistry had finally become reality. But the romance reportedly lasted only a short time before quietly falling apart. When Rihanna later spoke about where things stood, her message was clear. She explained that while there was no active feud between them, their friendship had ended. There were no dramatic accusations, just an acknowledgement that the relationship had reached its conclusion. That statement only fueled more speculation. Since Rihanna has rarely spoken publicly about the details, fans filled in the blanks with their own theories, many believing something significant must have happened behind closed doors. Others pointed out that she has shown forgiveness in other highly publicized situations, making the end of this friendship seem even more puzzling. The mystery deepened again when Drake appeared to reflect on past mistakes in music released years later. Some listeners interpreted lyrics from Certified Lover Boy as an admission that his own actions may have contributed to the breakup, with references that many believed alluded to infidelity during the relationship. Drake has never directly confirmed who those lyrics were about, but the speculation spread quickly. For critics, it created an uncomfortable contradiction. After years of publicly admiring Rihanna, some questioned how a relationship could reportedly end under those circumstances if the interpretations were true. Meanwhile, Rihanna seemed focused on a completely different chapter of her life, building a family, expanding her business empire, and staying largely silent as the conversation continued without her. Drake's personal life, however, remained a constant topic of discussion. Headlines linked him to one rumored romance after another, while viral internet claims, including unverified stories about multiple rejected proposals and a diamond necklace inspired by past relationships, kept his dating history in the spotlight. Whether fact, rumor, or internet exaggeration, the online conversation showed no signs of slowing down. If the internet had to give that diamond necklace a nickname, some joked it looked less like a luxury accessory and more like a trophy case for relationships that never made it to the finish line. But while people were laughing at that story, many believed Drake overlooked one very important detail about Rihanna. She has built a reputation for saying very little until the exact moment her response carries the most weight. That's always been part of her mystique. She rarely rushes to defend herself, rarely jumps into online arguments, and almost never reacts to every headline. But when she finally decides to speak, it usually takes only a few words to dominate the conversation. Fans often say that's exactly what makes her clapbacks so memorable. They're brief, calculated, and impossible to ignore. After Drake released lyrics that many listeners interpreted as subtle shots toward Rihanna, eagle-eyed fans pointed to a brief Instagram post that quickly disappeared. In the post, Rihanna appeared to joke that none of her former partners were married or happily settled, adding that perhaps she wasn't the problem after all. Although the post was deleted almost immediately, screenshots spread across social media within minutes, reigniting speculation about whether it was aimed at Drake. Whether that was her intention or not, the internet certainly believed it was. Supporters argued that if Drake had truly moved on years ago, Rihanna wouldn't still be appearing in discussions surrounding his music. To them, the recurring references suggested a chapter that never completely closed. Then the conversation grew even larger. Long before the recent allegations connected to Sexyy Red began circulating, Drake had already faced criticism from some fans and commentators over his interactions with several prominent black women in entertainment. During his highly publicized feud with Kendrick Lamar, those criticisms became part of the battle itself. On Meet the Grahams, Kendrick made a series of serious accusations about Drake's behavior and associations, along with broader claims about how he viewed and portrayed black women. Those allegations remain disputed, but they immediately became one of the most talked about aspects of the feud. As a result, when rumors later surfaced claiming Drake had allegedly tried to interfere with Rihanna's public image behind the scenes, some people online argued that the accusations aligned with concerns they already held. Others rejected the claims entirely, pointing out that no credible evidence had been presented. Either way, the debate intensified. The discussion was also fueled by previous controversies. Drake received backlash after lyrics on Circo Loco were widely interpreted as questioning Megan Thee Stallion's account following the 2020 shooting incident involving Tory Lanez, who was later convicted. Megan responded publicly, criticizing artists for turning a deeply traumatic experience into material for punchlines and calling out what she viewed as a lack of support for black women facing abuse. Another incident involved Serena Williams. Drake's lyrics on Middle of the Ocean were interpreted as mocking her husband, Alexis Ohanian. Ohanian didn't appear bothered. Instead, he responded by proudly saying that being his wife's biggest supporter was something he considered one of his greatest accomplishments, earning praise from many fans who appreciated his confidence. Then there's the unexpected twist involving Sexyy Red. Not long ago, the two appeared to share a friendly relationship. Drake publicly welcomed her at one of his concerts, joked about her from the stage, featured her repeatedly on social media, and showered her with compliments. Their interactions quickly became viral moments, with backstage videos, playful captions, and extravagant gifts, including a luxury watch reportedly worth tens of thousands of dollars, convincing fans that the friendship was stronger than ever. Which is exactly why the latest rumors have left so many people stunned. If someone once considered part of Drake's inner circle is now being linked to claims that challenge his image, naturally people want to know what changed. Did something happen privately? Is there more to the story than the public knows? Or is the internet once again connecting dots that don't actually belong together? No one outside those involved knows the full answer. But one thing is certain, the conversation shows no sign of slowing down. Some fans believe Drake has never truly moved on from Rihanna, while others argue the entire controversy has been exaggerated far beyond reality. Now it's your turn. Do you think these latest allegations deserve serious attention, or has social media taken speculation too far? Share your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to check out the next story because this rabbit hole only gets deeper.